I earned my degree online at Arizona State University. I chose to get my degree at ASU because I knew that I'd get a quality education, they were recognized for excellence, and that I would be prepared for the workforce upon graduating. To be associated with ASU, both as a student and alum, it makes me extremely proud, and having experienced the program, I know now that I'm set up for success. Learn more at asuonline.asu.edu.
One man claimed to walk the corridors of time itself, the so-called sleeping prophet. A humble photographer from Kentucky, he entered trance states where his voice changed, his eyes closed, and answers flowed. Answers to questions about health, lost civilizations, human destiny, and the unseen mechanics of the universe. Over decades, he delivered thousands of readings while apparently unconscious, speaking on everything from holistic healing and reincarnation to Atlantis, earth changes, and humanity's spiritual evolution. His followers hailed him as a conduit to divine knowledge. His critics dismissed him as a product of suggestion, subconscious patterning, and wishful thinking. And yet, some of his medical insights and historical claims continue to unsettle, lingering in the space between coincidence and clairvoyance. What makes his legend endure is not just what he said, but when he said it. Long before New Age movements gained traction, his readings described ideas that would later resurface in psychology, alternative medicine, and esoteric philosophy. Whether prophet or projection, his legacy remains woven into the modern fascination with hidden knowledge. This case file, join the theorists as we descend into the dreamlike depths of trance, prophecy, and paradox with Edgar Cayce.
Welcome to Alien Theorist Theorizing. I'm Braden.
I'm Zell.
I'm Dan. And I'm Andrew.
Hey, we had a little pre-meeting before the show. I must have rolled the fucking lowest dice roll on the
Pick the short straw.
You rolled a nat one.
And listen, Zell was laying out a lot of paths. From my understanding of what Zell was saying, Zell laid out a lot of paths before us of which paths we could take as ATT, as theorists theorizing, merging, unmerging, canceling, Coke Zero, Coke Regular.
Pepsi
And I just
Crystal.
want to let everyone know
Here it is.
that from now on, because of this decision that we all made, it was a resounding yes.
100%.
It was a resounding
100%.
yes across the board. It was yes, unless
Actually,
it was
Dan
no.
didn't say anything. Dan was quiet that whole conversation.
Unless it was no. But I think yes was the census. So there you go. You heard it here first.
Yes is what we're doing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
We're yes men, and it's yes. We're moving forward. Yes.
All right, there it is.
That's
Yeah, man. If you're not moving forward, you're moving backwards.
Yeah, we're things are moving,
Things are moving to groove.
and we're not stopping.
Did
Things
they
are
move or
moving.
did they never move?
I don't know.
We don't
Yes.
know. Yes.
Everything is moving.
yeah.
Even if you think it's not moving,
Constant,
it is
in
moving.
constant motion,
Constant
just like the universe.
Linear.
I like that. All right, perfect.
Listen, today we're talking about fucking Edgar Cayce. First off, this is for that
Whoa,
one motherfucker.
Hold on a second. Hold on a
this
fucking
is for
second. Say
What?
it again.
Edgar Cayce.
Casey.
Cayce.
But you said it like it was, we're talking about Edgar Cayce.
Edgar
You just like
Cayce.
fucking mushed as one.
Wait, it's not Edgar Cayce?
I thought it was Cayce.
It's Casey.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Really? I fucking
Is that
thought
how
it
it's
was
spelled?
Edgar Cayce all day.
It sounds like Case.
I mean, it looks like
I thought it was Case.
Case.
It looks like Case.
I saw
too.
people written it out as Casey. They're like,
this
it's
is
Casey.
we're doing this
It's pronounced
episode
Casey.
for one motherfucker,
One guy.
that made 2 comments that was like, "You guys never talk about Edgar Cayce." Well, here you go.
See.
Well, we don't ever talk about Edgar Cayce. We talk about
And
Edgar
now
Cayce.
we are, and it's all thanks to you.
It's
Okay,
all your fault.
So-
If it sucks, it's your fucking
it's
fault.
all this guy's fault. What's his name?
100%.
Let me call him out here.
Call him out.
What's his name here on Facebook? Please say. Yeah, I'm gonna give your full fucking government name too, brother.
Got your SIN number?
Oh no.
Yeah, whatever information I can get for you. Let's see. Yeah, he was like, "Man, you guys never talk about Edgar Cayce," and this is the second time I saw a comment like that from him. I was like, you know what? Fuck this guy. We're talking about him.
spite.
I don't see it.
We've
I'll
fallen for
find
his
it there.
trap.
Dox
Oh,
him.
there we go.
Dox him.
Paul Belolavic. There you go.
right.
Huh?
Search
This
him
was for
out.
you. And listen, if this episode does poorly, you're banned from everything.
I'm gonna fucking
Okay,
block you.
you're banned from the group.
gone.
You're banned from Facebook. I actually might even write to Facebook, say you're a hacker or something, like you're promoting
Report 'em.
scams.
Yeah.
Whatever I can do.
Make your life miserable.
Yeah, I'm gonna call your workplace, and I'm gonna be like, this guy ruined our show.
Yeah. Don't be surprised if Chris Hansen's knocking on your door, buddy. We're going through all the fucking.
we're going. Yeah.
But if it's
so we're
good,
talking about Edgar Cayce.
We're taking the 100% credit.
Yeah, then we're
Absolutely.
gonna cut this. We're gonna cut
Yeah.
the first part.
We're
of
gonna
the
cut
show.
this part
Part of the show. All right, re-intro.
Yeah.
Reintro, yeah. Welcome to Alien Theorists Theorizing, just for there, and we'll cut out and things will keep moving.
Yeah.
If this one is the one. This guy, the Sleeping Prophet. I had no idea about him, which is one of the reasons why we've never talked about him. I don't think I'd literally never heard of him until these 2 Facebook comments. And then I was like, all right, what's this guy's deal? Is this something we want to talk about? And I was like, no.
Are we sure we've never talked about him on an old case file?
He's been brought up for sure.
We've definitely.
We
brought
talk
him
about
up
hypnosis
at some
and
point.
stuff. We would have talked about him for sure.
We probably talked about him during Atlantis.
But
like
this
he does
guy
have
gets
a large chunk
hypnotized.
in
He
there.
doesn't really hypnotize people. He just sleeps.
Yeah. No, he hypnotized people too. He got into biz.
Really? I thought he was just hypnotizing himself.
Well, let's go
Into,
through
like,
it.
He learned how to
state.
do it, and then he started hypnotizing other people.
But this guy's
Okay, who is
old
he?
as
Who is this guy? Edgar Cayce.
Edgar Cayce, born March 18th, 1877 in Christian County, Kentucky, to a pair of farmers, his mother and father. He was also born into a fairly, since it is called Christian County,
No kidding.
it is appropriately super Christian. if you-
Muslim.
like ironically. Ironically.
it's the Muslim stronghold in the
Casey had expressed a very deep interest in the Bible from an early age. Like it said by age 10, one of the things that is kind of claimed is that he was committed to actually reading the Bible from cover to cover each year, which I've only done once.
why would he? I don't understand. Okay, so I like one of the things that because I read that, I saw that too. I read this and I saw that he read it annually. But in one of the claims of why this guy is so fucking amazing, one of the times, it's like one of the first times he ever read the Bible, he fell asleep on it. And he woke up and he had read it through osmosis. Like
What is fucking skill?
You know, when you wake up and you're like, you got that sleep face, he had the Bible verses just imprinted in his brain. He's like, I remember them all. And he was like quoting to his mom, like Bible verses. She's like, did you read this? He's like, no, I fell asleep on top of the Bible. Now I know all of the Bible. And that was his claim to fame. And I was like, why is this motherfucker reading it after? Like, why is he continuing?
He's that devout, man.
He's just reading it for
He's
fun.
literally opening each page and scooping the fucking words up and putting it in his head. Just like this. Just like
he wafts it.
Yeah,
He
it's
fucking
like-
opens the pages. Ooh.
Romans 21:12.
Ooh. Oh, that's so funny. That's how I'm going to read from now on. Whenever I open a book at work, my boss is like, hey, read this memo. I'm going to fucking waft it up.
What do you call
Just
it?
wafted it into the brain.
What do you call that? That's got to be a new word, right? That's a reading by waft. Like what's
waft
we need a
reading.
verb for that.
Yeah. Yeah. You remember, it's like we can start doing seminars, the speed reading where they like flash the words. Like you can read 900 words per minute. Ours would be like, you don't even have to read.
Just
freaking
smell
waft
breathe it in.
Waft those words up there, baby. Get into a trance-like state.
We'll make books, like you sell, get tapes out there, waft on phonics. Fucking, we'll have a whole industry, man.
Dude, this is hold on, new direction in the
Yeah.
show. Okay, forget this. Waft on phonics it is.
That's fucking great.
fucking
There we go.
great. That's a good name. But I was like, why? Because imagine right now, you fell asleep, you fucking memorized the book. You memorized the book, falling asleep, and then you're like, okay, I know every verse. I'm impressing someone, and then you're like, you're gonna manually fucking flip the pages after on something you've already memorized. Like, how boring would that seem?
I mean, it's the Bible, so very boring. Imagine, I don't think I could get through wafting fucking Genesis.
I don't know. There's some pretty fun parts in there.
In Genesis?
Yes, Genesis is the Nephilim and all that shit, and the fucking flood.
The only
That shit's-
begotten
that shit's
son
rad.
of him and him and him and her and
Men
his
of
cousin.
renown.
And
The angels fell and became
some
with women and
Snoozeville.
became.
There's
men
some
of
epic
renown,
verses in the
renown.
early Bible.
Fucking
All I'm
pretty
saying
rad
is
fuck.
Andrew's really showing that Dan is obviously waft the Bible harder than Andrew.
Apparently.
This is what I'm hearing.
I've never wafted the Bible.
You gotta get a double wafting in there. You haven't
pass.
wafted enough to get it.
All right, people are probably so confused of what you're talking about because all we've said his name, where he's from, and that he wafts.
Well,
books.
it's super unlike Brady just
But
to
he
jump
wafts.
ahead fucking.
Super, to complete
He
end of the
did that
case
as
file.
a child.
Yeah,
Well,
How's that jumping
that's
ahead?
not even the first story of how he learned that he could waft.
You haven't even got to anywhere. 10 years in, this guy still
He's already
doesn't
been
know the
seeing
format.
angels and fucking ghosts and shit before this happened. Like, you're way ahead.
Is that like that's going to be our
You got a
universe?
nail in the
shine?
fucking brain before this happened too?
He's got the waft, right? Instead of the shine, he's got
Yeah, he's got
this
the
kid's
waft.
got the waft.
He's got the waft.
tell us about the nail
All right.
in the brain, Andrew.
Just the extent of what I know. Got a nail in the fucking brain. And
Okay,
then unlocked his fucking pituitary gland.
Okay, all right. thought there was going to be more to that anecdote. I thought that.
All right,
yeah,
let's wind it back. So he's born. He grew up in Christian Valley. Foreshadowing, he can waft information out of books and through the ether or whatever. But as a child, like how did he's a psychic. This guy's a psychic. That he's known as a psychic, the sleeping prophet, whatever you want to call him. So how does he get the powers? It starts young.
Well, okay, so in all seriousness, at some point in his early childhood, he fell off a fence post and landed face first onto a board with a protruding nail. And that is one of the things that they say that might have unlocked his powers.
Where did it hit him?
Somewhere in his brain.
like
I'll
dead
try and look
center?
it up, but maybe. In the frontal cortex, maybe.
they have to like how far did it go in?
Pierced his skull, from what I understand.
Okay.
Allegedly, the nail pierced the center of his forehead where the third eye is located. Unlock his pineal gland.
Right there.
Oh, that's why.
Makes tons of
Oh, the
sense.
third eye.
You just gotta.
That makes
freaking-
sense.
Yeah, you just gotta.
Yeah, no, that's legit.
That's how you do
That's
it.
in his biography.
Rusty nails to the forehead. That's how you.
Like, how big of a
that's
nail?
How you get
spiritual
hepatitis.
enlightenment right there. Yeah.
Like how big of a nail was
Tetanus.
this? Like what are we talking?
Tetanus in your third eye.
How deep did it penetrate? Was it like a little brad nail or was
So-
it a spike?
It said the reportedly punctured the cranium and entered the brain cavity. His father quickly pulled out the nail.
That's
It's
you
what
do.
you're not
is,
supposed to do.
first-
FYI, anybody listening,
Yeah.
you don't pull things out. You leave them in.
Yeah, but
Wait till you get to the hospital.
I think you're allowed to pull things out like his father as long as you do what his father did immediately and pour turpentine into the hole
That makes sense.
That makes a lot
of the
sense.
brain.
Yeah.
Yep, that's good.
So maybe it's the mix of like the
Turpentine straight to the
third
brain.
eye and then the turpentine being
Is
injected
that
into his
maybe?
brain.
That's probably what these guys are fucking like. RFK, they just dye it blue and they sell it. Fucking methylene blue. It goes right in your brain.
And then it just adds, he immediately resumed normal play soon after.
Yeah, like licking windows and fucking eating cat shit.
Kids were built different back then,
So he took a nail to the brain,
Right.
Yeah.
and then the first story of him is like his father and his. Well, I've heard a few versions of it. One, his father was like beating him for being a bad speller.
Well, he fell asleep on his spelling test, is what I read.
Well, that's how. Well, the story goes. The first one is
wafted.
he was a terrible speller. His father found out. He pretty much beat him. He
Kept him
got
up till
knocked out.
midnight.
Fell in the book. Absorbed the
hear
information of the book and knew everything.
Oh, I'm just looking at because I just typed in his injuries and it's like other childhood injuries that may have unlocked his powers. A baseball hitting his
To the
spine.
spine.
That's
Yeah.
next. Yeah.
Yeah.
A
Jumping
stick
ahead.
piercing his testicle.
Where do you Google as you go? Like, how do you jump ahead so quick?
Well, because I had no idea about the fucking nail, so I looked up the nail. I said, "What were Edgar Cayce's injuries?" Because I had no idea about the nail. Sorry for jumping ahead, boys. We're talking about childhood injuries.
Right. Well,
can't walk this information
continue.
like you
Yeah,
guys.
keep
Keep going.
going.
Now you got 'em.
Stick
You
to
got
the
'em up.
testicles. Okay.
Well, you killed my momentum. You got to stick to the nuts. No big deal. I thought we could riff on that.
No big deal.
It's all
And
good.
then
what?
That's it. I guess you got powers.
that's it. So it was
Walking
either
powers?
it was one of those three or a combination of all three that gave Edgar Cayce access to the what he realized, in
Vacation
early
records.
life was that sleeping was the key to this ability that he had to either absorb knowledge or he also reported seeing being some type of spiritual medium. I think he talked about seeing like the incorporeal form of his grandfather wandering around the house at some point, and also several winged visitations, which I think actually one of them was when the spelling anecdote that you said. I think there's a version out there where Cayce said he heard the voice of a woman, which he had seen before, some kind of winged image, winged figure, tell him to fall asleep. And then when he fell asleep on the book, he said that he woke up and he could spell everything from those words they were practicing that evening.
Yeah, I mean, that's like, it's interesting because yes, he figured out he unlocked his powers by sleeping on stuff, but like this kid has been seeing spirits and ghosts. Like he saw his grandfather, he died in a house fire or something, right? And like, this is something that completely freaked out his entire family. But they'd come in and he'd be like, "Oh, I had a conversation with Grandpa. This is what he said." And like, he would have information on the family that he would have no idea about, right? That would obviously be coming from his grandpa, right? So it kind of backed it up a little bit. Like they didn't really have any written record of any of these things, to the point where he like got sent to go live with other family members, right? Like his parents are kind of like, "We got to offload this fucking little weirdo
Weird.
for a little bit to his fucking, his aunt and uncle." Which apparently was pretty common back then too, right? Like you would go stay, parents would have 16 kids and we're like,
Send them
more
off to the
lived than
relatives.
expected. So we got to offload a couple of these fucking kids for a bit.
Yeah.
You need
Send them
yard
as
work
free
done?
labor. Yeah, send them as
Yeah.
free labor over to the other part of the family, extended family. So yes, Cayce unlocked his sleeping ability, his osmosis or wafting.
These
or
fucking
however
Morty's
you want
mind
to-
blasters.
And then but then another facet of the incredible abilities that are ascribed to Edgar Cayce would be the healing aspect of his powers. And the first one, apparently, like the first foray into that avenue of psychic powers was what Braden said. Apparently, I think it's associated with the hit in the ball in the spine. I guess when he was sleeping at night after the injury, his family heard him muttering about remedies or cures, how to treat it, and they did what he said, and then he apparently was healed
Just
by
rest.
It's interesting too, because they kind of like they
Leeches.
talk about he got hit in the spine by the baseball and he was knocked unconscious for a while after the event. And when he came to, his sister, because it happened at school, I think, his sister described that he like came back possessed. Like different, like angry. He was acting up. He was being weird. He was like running home and fucking digging. Like he was like feral almost, which, now that we're learning, like a lot of times, like people do get a little squirrely after they get head injuries, right? Like this is normal. You're not really corpus mentis after a significant fucking brain trauma.
What
which
was that
by the
word?
sounds of it, he
That's
has
a great word. Corpus mentis?
corpus mentis.
That's a great word.
Is that a real
You
word?
like it?
Latin
Medical term.
must be.
Meaning there's of sound mind.
Oh yeah,
Look at this guy. Look at this guy's with his vocabulary. This guy's smarter than we think.
that is good. That is good.
It's because I got a fucking nail to the forehead and unlocked my fucking third eye.
You've hit your head a few times. I'm surprised you don't have more powers.
Yeah.
I'm sure you don't have more third eyes.
Honestly,
My fucking powers are misaligned eyes and fucking nightmares. That's what I got from head injuries.
He can't focus.
I can't. I got to wear fucking glasses because it's bullshit.
I think I honestly, with like this guy, like if that's how you got powers, like I honestly feel like every single one of us is probably taking a headshot with one of those fucking ruthless school dodgeballs. You know the ones like the tethered ones. that are like hard. They're not like rubber.
Like
Tetherball
tetherball?
ones. Yeah, the tetherball ones.
No,
are
no, the
pretty sick.
dodgeballs, but they like
Oh,
they got
oh,
that
with
like
the grips
really
on 'em.
grip.
Yeah.
with a real
Oh,
grip,
yeah.
and they do
The
that
ones that
real
go
big.
thunk.
Twang!
Yeah,
and
those
make
are
that
fucking
like dude, those are devastating.
full face, like
Full face,
marks
yeah.
embedded in your face.
Yeah, because it like sinks onto your face. Like there's no way you wouldn't be
Fuck
getting
those
powers if
ladies,
you
man.
ate one of those.
So even though being a reported spelling genius and being able to absorb information by just sleeping on books, Cayce
By
reportedly
wafting.
wasn't a great student.
U-turn.
He did quit school. It was reported to have quit school around 8th grade. He left the schooling system.
As
at
one
that point.
does.
No,
As
you know
one
why he
does.
quit? He wafted all the books.
Well, but like that's right. Like he
just in the
jumped
library.
fucking grades, like massively. He like went from grade 3 to 6.
This is a way better skill than the Matrix when they download it.
Yeah. Let's go into the library.
Just, you could go into the library and legit just like swing it in.
Well, he must have still had an appetite for books because he did take several jobs after leaving school, and like I think at least
Saying
like
he's eating them?
3 of them were in bookstores. He worked in like a lot of bookstores. So, he's probably doing a lot of wafting in there perhaps. But one of the more significant jobs, he took a job as a door-to-door insurance salesman. And it was during this time, like as his tenure or, while he was working as this insurance salesman, he developed a kind of severe case of laryngitis, which led to him pretty much like losing his, like most of his voice.
Fucking moneymaker. Can't sell insurance, no voice.
Exactly. You can't sell people without being attacked. So he had to kind of step away from the
Imagine
job.
if you're showing up at people's doors like RFK,
He could do it.
warbling.
Trust and insurance.
Did I interest you in?
In an effort to try and treat it, because they tried all kinds of remedies. They went to all kinds of doctors, and which all met with varying failures. A hypnotist was visiting his town at one point, and Cayce went to go see this hypnotist who was hawking out cures, and he said that he could treat Cayce for a mere $200, which
How much
is
money you got, kid? 200,
That's a
150,
fucking
$200,
$1 million back then.
$7,000
I'll
today.
fix that. I'll fix that voice right now for you. You'll be talking right now.
I don't know where
$7,000 today's money
Equivalent.
Yeah, that would be the equivalent.
to fix your sore throat.
Buddy, I would have no throat and I'd be on a fucking plane to Turkey with that money.
Here's some honey and lemon, kid.
So the hypnotist, I don't know where Cayce scrounged up the money from, but he paid the hypnotist, and the hypnotist noticed something interesting. After he placed Cayce into a hypnotic state, reportedly Cayce was able to speak clearly while under the influence of the hypnotist, while in that hypnotic state. He was able to speak perfectly clear. But when he woke, the voice was gone again. The voice was lost again.
Wait, so he could dream, he could speak, but he
Yes.
couldn't speak when he woke up.
Yes, allegedly.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So, even though they,
Which means but Edgar doesn't know this.
no.
So this guy's see, kid, when you were asleep, when I had you hypnotized, you were speaking totally fine. I don't know what's happening now. Must not be worrying. You got any
So-
more money, kid?
Yeah. So the hypnotist told him, he was stumped. He didn't know why Cayce would speak clearly while under hypnotized, but he couldn't speak while he was outside of it. Cayce himself figured out that that they were on the right track, and he put himself into a hypnotic state, which he called auto-hypnosis. And while
Of course,
asleep,
as you do.
That's where you put a belt around your neck in your closet, right?
And then you fucking jerk off.
You jerk. I think that's what it is.
I
don't
and
know.
while under
Dangerous.
this
Very
Self-flagellation.
dangerous.
while under this auto-hypnotic state, Cayce went ahead and he said that reportedly diagnosed what was causing his laryngitis and also how to treat it. Apparently, it had to do with something about the circulation in his vocal cords. It's not really clear. And he was going to be able to repair it while in his trance. And that's how he began to began his healing careers.
So when he's unconscious in some type of different state, he can access the records of the universe.
He's, you can meditate, you can realign your meridians and, focus your chi and then put it all in together, circulate it out there.
How many
kick the blockages
meridians
out.
do we have?
12.
We have 12 meridians.
Something like
And they
that.
all got to be perfectly in line. Is that
Don't
what's
you mean
going on?
fucking metachlorians?
Nah, I mean meridians.
Okay.
Metachlorians are just like tiny little cellular things. That's
Well, now, when they say 20,000 midichlorians, is like, what's the count on that? Like 20,000 parts per million, 20,000.
So is it the concentration?
Equivalent
is it
of
the
having a
density?
power level over 9,000.
Is it the density? of this?
9,000.
Which is like over 9,000 is like not that much anymore.
I'm pretty sure like Lord Beerus is like a fucking 9 billion power
I think
level.
he's
Yeah, see, and that's where it loses me.
it's-
Just we get new, different colored hair, and
power
they just
scaling.
keep levels keep going up, and like
They should have kept the fucking power system in a nice linear line so you really
100%.
knew who was more powerful.
I just don't.
Android 17 wins a tournament to power somehow? Who? How?
No, it doesn't make any sense.
Makes no sense.
Makes no fucking
the
sense. We just gotta
so
find a way to
Ki-
make old characters relevant again. Where you're like, we don't need them. We've moved on. They're gone.
Piccolo's Orange Piccolo now. It's good.
I
You
know.
gotta keep
He was
Piccolo
already
now.
a super
What?
Namekian or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, but now he's way cooler. He's orange form.
getting-
He's
I like
fucking
green.
jacked.
I like my Namekians fucking green. All right, Dan.
Yeah.
Piccolo had a nice glow up, right? You got him.
Yeah, I don't like
He
this.
had a nice glow
I
up
like-
when he fused
Listen,
with fucking Nail. That was good enough for
That
me.
was cool.
That was
Yeah.
badass. Nail was a fucking G. He played his part. He
Let's
doesn't
not
need to be orange.
culturally appropriate, all right? Namecs are green. All right? We don't need...
Orange
everyone
Nem-
can have their own DBZ characters, but Namecs are green.
And just like Edgar Cayce, they could use telekinesis.
Yeah. So now that,
Well,
that
maybe
Casey,
Edgar Cayce was like Tien because he's got the third eye.
Yeah. On the route of further developing his psychic abilities, like Casey decided to put these things to work. Apparently, again, he was working a number of different careers while he was pretty much he had a long engagement and then he married to is it Gertrude was his wife?
What a fucking name,
Trudy.
man.
They moved around a couple times, including a time where they spent a while working as the Cayce Petroleum Company, where he worked with a couple of people where they basically kind of marketed his psychic ability and trying to get investors that saying that he could find oil wells during like the oil well rush around that time, being like moving down to Texas and being like, we can find oil wells with his psychic abilities. Didn't go so well.
Well, that was like because didn't they have a son and the son died, so she never really trusted that he could do it.
The second
And-
son. Yeah, you were getting there.
Oh, okay. So it's also the second son. One of his sons
Jump in
died.
the head.
Right.
Chippin had one line. What an idiot.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's so yeah. There were some things where Gertrude, his actual wife, you think she'd kind of maybe be on board with the whole entire, his psychic abilities, but apparently Gertrude was kind of like a big like detractor at first. One of the reasons being that, like Zell mentioned, that their second son Milton had died. It's like, where were you at on that one, hotshot?
Yeah. I mean, that's not a good look for you when you're like, I can heal all.
I know
ailments.
everything.
And then shortly after Milton's tragic young death, Gertrude actually contracted tuberculosis.
Well, does he have a fucking cure for that?
Yeah, little fucking therapeutic adjustment at the chiropractor. Some fucking
That's all it takes.
oil of oregano. Little ashwagandha.
Raw-
Fucking bingo,
raw
bango,
peanut oil.
bongo.
Yeah, if you believe the stories, Gertrude was treated for tuberculosis by a number of physicians, and then most of them kind of told them that nothing was going to be able to help her. And I think
Listen, the leeches, the cocaine, the cigarettes, none of it worked. What the fuck are we gonna do?
We've tried it all.
castor oil.
Have you given her a
castor oil
lobotomy yet?
enemas doesn't
Yeah.
work. Yeah, all that stuff. And so, I mean, it got from one of the more, dramatic stories is that she was pretty much like a physician wrote to Casey saying that, your wife does not have long to live. One of her lungs is not getting any air. There is extensive scarring in the other lung. You should make time with her, but if there's anything to your, and the doctor kind of appealing to be like, if there's anything to these abilities of yours, you need to
Now's
do it
the
now.
time.
Now's the time.
Now's the time.
So apparently Edgar performed a reading for her, and she got better. And this led to Gertrude's like lifelong supporting of her husband's future, healings and
Listen to that though. Listen
endeavors.
to that. What kind of what a woman. She
That's
fucking
support right
doubts
there.
the guy until she's on her deathbed. That's what it took for some support. Come on, Gertrude. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
You couldn't believe in the guy? He was trying. He's going to door trying to sell fucking insurance.
Yeah.
My God, Gertrude. Throw that fucking bone here.
And yeah, and as
Could you
as-
imagine him, Edgar too? He's like, he's doing his little psychic reading. He's like, comes back from his trance. He's like, there's no cure for the kid. She's like, I don't believe you. And he's like, I don't know. There's nothing in there. Right. And then you don't believe him. You got it's bullshit. Never believe him.
So as Edgar's notoriety spread throughout the region, he would receive like letters. There were like regular articles about him in like local newspapers and things like that, and so people kind of came to know and be familiar with his abilities, and that he was known for these healings. So he would receive letters and correspondence about people who are in dire straits or looking for someone to help them out, heal them, or one of their family members. And it was kind of reported that for most of these healings, all Edgar needed in order to diagnose or give advice about how to treat these people is that he just needed a person's name and their location. Whether that was, I don't think it was exact latitude and longitude, but I think it was just kind of like you give them the general idea.
It was on Fifth and Main.
Yeah. Third house on the right on, Willow Street, I guess.
He's like, all right, I'll sleep on it.
Make sure you get the zip code right. Yeah. But a lot of what Cayce was kind of known for, and this is kind of what also kind of keeps him relevant today, is that a lot of people would call, I think one of the titles that he holds is that he is like the father of holistic medicine. A lot of his diagnoses, kind of veered away from the what was kind of the nouveau riche, or whatever the kind of like the current medical stuff at the time, like
Which was killing it, by the way.
Which was cocaine and leeches and probably,
Yeah.
a lot of that stuff, kind of
Electroshock.
a lot of that stuff would kind of probably today would even be considered quackery or whatnot. But most of it,
You're saying anything else worked better than what they were doing?
most of the stuff that the ones that did get better, it's like his recommendations on kind of boiled down to changes in diet, more exercise, and rest.
Well, what about that kid that had the fucking button in his throat?
Right. Yeah. So you tell us
Right?
about that one. Yeah.
Well, so Dan, obviously you're going to know this, but they used to make buttons out of a weird material that wouldn't show up on an X-ray or X-rays back then. I forget. It was like an animal fat or some shit, hardened animal fat potentially. But like this kid had a debilitating problem with his throat. He hypnotized him and found out that there was a button in this kid's throat, which no one would have had any idea because it wouldn't obviously show up on an X-ray. It's weird though. It didn't really line up because like the way the symptoms wouldn't really line up with a button in the throat. But anyways,
Just
whatever.
a button.
Just a button in the throat. Save the day.
Did he say button? Like he's like, this is obviously
He said
button.
there's a button lodged in his throat.
You know what
That's
happened?
causing the
He's like he was just comforting the kid. The kid's like, oh, he's like, you can tell me what's going on. He's like, I swallowed a button. I swallowed a button. Don't tell my parents to fucking beat me.
Yeah, and a lot of it, like I mentioned, was kind of his approach to like changing like dietary guidelines for a lot of these people who are in
Wild.
person.
He's just like RFK.
So wait, you're telling me, Dan,
To
that
be fair,
do you want me to tell you what they are? Like, is that like one of those things?
this is something that we didn't even know as of 2019. So it's
true.
pretty cutting edge technology.
Here are the Edgar Cayce dietary guidelines right here. So for breakfast, one should have cereals or citrus fruit juices, but never combined.
okay.
Put them together.
Never.
What?
Fruit,
Never.
whole wheat bread, eggs, milk
What
are also
psycho
suggested.
is having orange juice in the bowl with Honey Nut Cheerios?
People do it.
One should lunch on raw salads or vegetable juices, but never with vinegar-based salad dressing.
Vinegar-based salad dressings are good though.
Cooked leafy
white wine
vegetables
vinegar.
or legumes with fish, fowl, or lamb in lesser quantity were suggested as the dinner item.
Okay.
Nice lean
so-
meats.
Yeah, that's good. Probably delicious.
You want to keep those foods that are the more alkaline. That is, do not take red meats, no fried foods, Of course, yeah, okay.
All right.
Acetic acid is to be avoided.
Sound like my doctor now.
As are various food combinations such as starches and sweets, citrus juices, milk or cereal, and more milk or cereal. So don't put those two together. Multiple starches, oysters and whiskey, coffee and milk or cream or tomatoes and meats. All those guesses.
Those are all very inflammatory. He's being right. He's right.
So carbonated drinks are strongly condemned because the gases are detrimental.
Except for beer. He recommended beer.
He did.
Yeah.
I heard
He did.
I heard
Dark breads are to be preferable to white. And let's see.
It's controversial.
There should be a ratio
This guy's
of
obviously never had a good sourdough.
3 above ground vegetables to every root vegetable consumed, and 1 leafy vegetable for every pod vegetable.
Pod
give
vegetable. What's a pod vegetable?
Like a peas?
A pea in a
Like
pod?
pea in a pod?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like a
What else
green
is a
bean
pod
or
vegetable
something like
besides
that.
peas?
No, what are peas?
Green beans.
Green
Oh, yeah.
beans.
Okay.
Okay,
All right.
that makes
Green
sense.
beans. Okay. All right. There's a couple.
Give me another one.
Another one.
You hit me with a third pod,
What's
Dan.
a third pod?
I mean, like, I guess if you like edamame, it would be like
Oh,
edamame.
nice.
Hey.
There it is.
There it is. Dan knows.
10 points, Dan.
Apples are said to be better cooked than raw.
That's good. That is
gross.
true.
Gross.
It's good for your
Soggy.
stomach,
It's
though.
soggy.
It's good for your
That's
stomach.
fucking gross.
Good for my
Cooked
stomach.
apple,
Good for your,
anything.
it's good for your stomach.
Wait, does an
Keep it in a
apple
pie
upset
and
your
that's it.
stomach, you weirdo?
No, it's good for your stomach. If you cook it, it apparently like releases some like better things that help your gut
Was that on
digestion.
JFK's
I've heard that.
guidelines too?
No, it's on fucking Edgar Cayce guidelines.
Red wine is recommended if accompanied by dark bread.
Smart.
See, motherfuckers.
Renner Red
Read that one more
strikes
time for the
again.
people in the back.
Beer and liquor are not recommended. And white wines are advised only with meals.
This guy's full of shit.
The guy's full of it, yeah. Doesn't know what he's talking about on the
False
booze.
prophet.
I like what he's been saying. The red wine thing really brought me back in. I've been saying that all along too. I didn't know why I was saying it. Now I know it's because I fucking reached into the ether while I was sleeping and unlocked some of Edgar Cayce's work. I must have wafted some of it in.
Okay,
So-
boys, I got to take a quick piss break. I drank way too many beers before. But after the break, we're going to get back into, there's a little bit of Atlantis stuff, why people actually believe them and why people don't. We'll fucking harp on it. But yeah, I drank too many beers before we started. And now I'm back on the weed with the booze. It's like decreasing my bladder capacity.
Well, also you got a little older, and I just find that the bladder just is the first thing to be like, "Whoa."
That's true. It does start to let go a bit.
Let's-
All right, we'll be right
yeah.
back.
You're telling me you slept 8 hours straight last night?
Didn't wake up once. First time in like 8 years.
All right. What are these things?
They're called Sleepy Time Advanced Gummies from Moo.com.
So you just get high and go to sleep? THC's always made me weird, Nancy.
That's what I thought too. But it's not just THC, it's CBD and CBN too.
And it actually knocks you out?
Not like a pill where you feel drugged. It's more like your brain finally shuts up.
Wow. Nice. But what about the morning? Foggy, fuzzy, tired?
That's the thing. No grogginess. I wake up and I'm just awake.
And it's legal though?
100%. Totally federally legal, like 2018 Farm Bill legal.
Where do people get these?
Just search Sleepy Time Gummies on Mood.com and use the code ALIEN to get 20% off your first order.
Yeah, I need to try this. And if it doesn't work for me, can I get my money back?
Absolutely. They give you 100 days to try all their stuff.
Okay, I'm ordering these right now.
Do it and report back, good buddy.
We're back.
So one of the things that Edgar Cayce is probably most well known for, besides his psychic healing abilities, is the readings. Because this guy he did a ton of readings, like 14,000 is what I've seen. Yeah, like
insane.
14,000 something documented readings, which are all, I think a lot of them are actually this is probably like one of the most well documented cases of kind of the psychic readings and all of this stuff, because a lot of this stuff is maintained by like the Association for Research and Enlightenment, which was like the Cayce Foundation, and still exists today out in Virginia Beach. Like you can actually go there and they still do stuff out there. I think they're just pretty much a holistic healing center.
I feel like if he was around even like 60 years later, he would have been like a fucking Scientology leader, like a cult leader, like nowadays.
Well, he had the opportunity to do that, right? Like he got into like the oil and gas game for a while.
Yeah.
He worked with JP Morgan for a little bit. Like, I can't remember. It was was it Boston Globe, whatever, the owner of one of the major newspapers wanted to hire him to give him readings every day exclusively. But one of the stipulations was like, they're like, I'm going to give you $1,000 a month or a week or something like that. One of the stipulations was he has to drive around in a black Cadillac and wear a turban. And he's like, no, can't do that. Right? Like, it could have been easy to sell out for that. Yeah,
that's where I draw the line, right?
So I don't know. Like he wanted to build a hospital. Like that was one of his goals. Like I genuinely think this guy had or for the most part had good intentions, but who knows?
Well, one of the things I read like about when like people would ask him where he got his gifts, he would be like, he'd be like, I don't really know how I'm doing it. It's just like I'm either like a god or something, or I'm touching and stuff. But it's never like he was like, he never really was like, I'm the chosen one to do, except he kind of like, from what I read, was like had kind of like a reluctant like confusion about how he was doing these things as well.
He always did struggle with kind of reconciling his abilities with like his really, he had a very deep dedicated faith to like Christianity. Like it is documented that he was a very
big Jesus guy.
Yeah, he was a very big Jesus guy. Fan of the Holy Spirit. And that dedicated to that cosmology and worldview of the Father, Son, the Holy Spirit, and a lot of his readings, most of his readings were always framed around that. Like a lot of it, like a lot of Christian mysticism and stuff like that is like all of his with the way that he would phrase, and a lot of the ways that he would kind of relate his readings would all be stuff kind of either Bible references or stuff like pulled from the Bible or Christian belief system. Any of that stuff would kind of come out like that. One of the other things we were getting to probably his more things like one of his famous things is Cayce on Atlantis. He would another one of the things that besides the Christian mysticism and those things, and a little bit of theosophy, is like he did also kind of become like a proponent of reincarnation. And one of the things that he was kind of famous for is that he would, when he would do his sleeping, do some of his auto hypnosis sessions, he would like regress into his former life as like a resident. And I think he had like a couple of them, that like couple different lives, past lives of people who lived in Atlantis or were related to Atlantis. And there are details that he gave about Atlantis beyond what, the kind of the Plato, allegory for Atlantis as it was. So Atlantis, according to Cayce, was a real physical location, not a myth.
we know it is.
100%.
Right. It was located in the Atlantic Ocean, specifically Atlantic Ocean.
Definitely.
How do you come up with that?
No, it's in the Sahara. We learned this.
Could be.
And it wasn't necessarily one landmass. It was like, it was separate, multiple islands, all, I guess, joined in some kind of like confederation. Atlantis was destroyed, but not all at once. It was a series of cataclysms.
That's the part I found interesting, because we always hear it just collapsed into the sea.
No, I guess it was a series of cataclysms. Like, you had a couple of them, but the final collapse happened around 10,500 BC.
Oh, what date? Correct. That's a good date right there.
Yeah.
What's that? Coincide with
Mudflood?
Younger Dryas.
Younger Dryas.
Mudflood. So the Atlanteans were possessed of advanced technology. It was in his readings, he does specifically kind of reference that they had access to some kind of crystal-based energy system. Like, I think there was a mention of some kind of large. It's basically the Disney movie with the giant crystals and like running, like powering a lot of the devices and the future the ancient future technology of the Atlanteans. But it was their misuse of this technology that caused some type of geologic instability, and then led
nukes.
to their
they nuked the ice cap by accident. Whoops.
And they had, I guess, he talked about like the cultural organization of Atlantis. One of those saying that the society was split between, you had your spiritually aligned groups and your materialistic factions. There's also, I believe, mentioned that the Atlanteans like physically were like superior to us, like to the regular human race. I guess they were taller, more robust. I think they also had access to some kind of psychic telepathic abilities, which some Atlanteans
they had access to wafting. I heard, actually.
I guess. Apparently, there was like a faction that would use these telekinetic, these psychic abilities, like to control others, which was a big no-no. But they said fuck it, I guess, and did it anyways. But after Atlantis fell, completely obliterated by the crystal nukes or, too much wafting, who knows? These Atlantean survivors, there were survivors that went and spread out amongst the,
we know where they went. Let's take a guess. Where did they go?
Egypt.
Bang.
That's one.
Where else?
Göbekli Tepe.
Possibly.
Maybe.
That might be even older. But definitely, they went to the Yucatan. They went to like those jungles, Central America. Mm-hmm. Had to have all the pyramids and stuff. The Inca, they got down
Southeast Asia,
Easter Island, boom, megaliths,
Rapa Nui.
Yeah.
Easter
Good,
Island,
good memory, good recall. I forgot that was the real name.
I just wanted to do it justice and not give it a Western name.
Not be racist and call it Easter Island for the Christian.
Rapa Nui.
It's Rapa Nui.
Come on.
Where else? The moon, we know that.
Probably, yeah. For sure.
I think that's about it, though.
Shit, forgot about that one.
I think that's about as far as I got, I believe.
And across, I think North America. I think at one point during his readings, he said the mound builders of like the Ohio Valley and the Serpent Mound, the Ohio Valley, and these places were somehow related to.
Dude, what are those
Atlantean
megaliths in like
refugees.
Montana or something? Or isn't there like a crazy wall in Montana?
You have to look that up. You have to check that.
I mean, it's not a bad theory for this guy to be shooting out when he did. You know what I mean? Like it's because it basically like Graham Hancock is saying, he's not saying it's Atlanteans that did this, but we talk about
an advanced civilization
that may have passed on this knowledge to these places, and this guy is kind of singing that same tune. Right? Maybe he's off on some details. To me, it's like, it's weird that they attribute this to as a miss. Because I guess he says he says like, it'll rise again. But maybe he meant the theory.
Yeah. And, it kind of does.
Maybe he's looking at Google. He's looking at like Google Analytics and the Akashic Records. He's like, man, people are going to be fucking searching this again.
Yep.
This is going to come back.
Yeah. And it technically kind of would come back. So Cayce died January 3rd, 1945. And so a lot of his readings and prophecies were all kind of like have all been bound together and well maintained because they had the Cayce Foundation and they had that the associate, what was it, what did I say, the Association for Research and Enlightenment still went on and I think was maintained by I think a couple of generations of his family. So they were keeping these things. And one of the predictions that people say that Cayce kind of gives Cayce credibility, or like this is his big bread and butter, is that he said that Atlantis would rise again, as Braden said, between 1968 and 1969. So after he was dead.
Oh, what was discovered then? So
Cayce stated that a portion of Atlantis would rise or be discovered near Bimini in 1968 or 1969. And so this is probably one of his most explicit date-based predictions, because some of his predictions are kind of vague. And kind of whatever. So Bimini, and if people didn't know, is the westernmost district of the Bahamas, and it comprises a chain of islands about 80 kilometers or 50 miles due east of Miami. And on September 2nd, 1968, while diving about 5.5 meters or 18 feet of water off the northwest coast of North Bimini, Joseph Manson Valentine
found Atlantis.
They encountered what they called a pavement, and it looked like these kind of geometrically cut large slabs of rock or mineral or whatever, and
placed megalithic stones, Dan.
Yeah. Yeah, and they found they were noticeably rounded, and they looked like they could possibly have been human made. And this was triggered off a lot of discussion and revisiting of Cayce's prediction, and other.
I don't know how you can quantify any of this as misses. This guy's hitting. He's batting a fucking 100.
He's smoking
I don't.
here.
This Cayce's the man.
Nice one. Yeah,
he's the guy.
So this was one of his big hits, and this has always kept Cayce a little bit relevant. But it wasn't his only prediction. It wasn't his only date specific prediction. One of his other predictions is there was going to be a major pole shift and global destruction around 1936 to 2000. So. We're still here.
But I mean, again, that's something that we talk about, that's talked about now is like the drifting poles. And if they were to flip in reverse, it would ruin all the world's compasses, I think is what
and we talk about it.
Reverse them 180 degrees.
He was like, there's going to be dramatic pole shifts, massive continental upheaval, widespread destruction of cities, and pretty much like this would happen before the end of the 20th century is one of his.
Like he made it sound like it was like remember that guy Charles Hapgood in the continental crustal displacement, where it's just like the Earth is like just like spins, and all of a sudden you're at the North Pole and you freeze to death instantly.
Yeah, something like day after tomorrow. Day after tomorrow. Yeah. I can need Quaid to come and sell.
I mean, he's in a sense he's right, because right now the poles are they're drifting. Not like flipping, but they're drifting, and they're like seeming like they're speeding up.
Yeah. And with these, he also went on to detail that he thought he believed from his readings and that portions of the eastern United States, including New York, would experience major destruction. This is all before the 20th century is what he was predicting. Pretty much like they would be underwater,
Al Gore predicted that too in the year 2000 or whatever it was. With that
still not underwater.
Amazing documentary.
I guess, he also predicted that California would partially or totally sink into the sea at some point, like Escape from LA with Kurt Russell. I guess
this is the thing.
I mean,
go ahead.
Well, I'm thinking, I'm like, you hear that and you go, okay, well, that's ludicrous, but it's like, it's on the fault line. Like if there's a fucking massive enough gigantic quake, like we all grew up being told like any day
it's coming,
any day
it's coming,
the big one's coming, like that could be a little bit of a reality. Like really, so he's not far off. And it's like, was there enough science and data back then for them to know that that's a thing, that there could be a fucking massive earthquake?
I don't even know if they knew what tectonic plates really were before 1900.
I mean, they were having earthquakes back then.
For sure, they're having earthquakes.
But they probably didn't know what it was, though.
And they didn't have an idea that
the gods are angry,
and they're like, "Fuck this! California is
masturbated too much, and now the world shakes."
But like, they wouldn't know California is on this kind of fault line.
Plate tectonics discovery evolved from an Alfred Wegener's 1912 theory of continental drift. So 1912, the theory was in the scientific journals. And then it still took years after that to become.
So Edgar was wafting it then.
He was wafting it in.
100% he was wafting, dude.
I mean,
he was wafting
in the sense of like geological time, he's pretty accurate.
Yeah.
Like that will happen.
Like if we're going with like we're billions of years old, the planet, and you say like it's going to happen, like he's going to be right.
Well, he was given dates at this this point. He was saying that this is going to happen.
You're in the Akashic records. They're using a different like math system.
Yeah.
You don't know what that's going on in there.
Yeah, it could be 1930s after. Maybe he was using a totally different time scale.
Well, who knows what future when this happened? What kind of calendar system they're using? Maybe they've reset it a couple times.
No, dude, we all know Jesus is coming back, and then it's going to start at zero again, and there'll be another.
Well, that was supposed to happen in 1998.
Is that what we're doing? Is that what we're doing every time he comes back? We just fucking
there's going to be it's going to start, and
we zeroed out.
There's going to be like BC, there's like BCC, and they're going to keep going back every 2,000 years or whatever it is. Yeah. He's a little late though. If it's every 2,000, it's a little late. Yeah. But show up any day. My mom's saying it's going to show up any day now.
I mean, he's late. According to Casey, was like he was going to come back in 1998. So he's late a little bit. I don't know. He's in geologic time. He's fashionably late. So I don't.
Yeah, it could. I mean, it could be. It's a blink of an eye for him, really.
Yeah. Yeah. He's not constrained by time. He's a spiritual being. I think he also called that there was going to be massive changes in Europe's geography, like its entire thing. I think parts of Western Europe were going to sink. New land was actually going to come out of the ocean. I think that was Superman, Return of Superman. Was it that there was just going to be a new complete landmass was just going to rise up out of the North Atlantic, I think.
Well, isn't that what happens if the ice caps were to melt like suddenly? It's like the weight of the ice, like it's the ground like sponges back, shoots back out of the water. If you were to just evaporate all the ice instantly, I've heard that before.
I have not. I don't know if that's exactly what would
You haven't
happen.
heard of ground elasticity due to glaciers melting?
No. I haven't.
Might have made it up, I guess.
I haven't gone down that far,
Buddy,
down
maybe
the
you're a
rabbit hole of
fucking
geology.
prophet too.
Maybe
you've
I'm
been
a prophet.
wafting.
Dude, maybe you wafted that.
You're wafting right
I know.
now.
I did go to
maybe.
the library with Nova not that long ago, so I could have absorbed a lot of information.
Oh, that'll happen.
Could have
Yeah,
wafted
yeah.
a lot of stuff in there.
It'd been mainly kids' books, Scooby Doo and the like.
To be fair, the only thing you're wafting at our library is fucking meth. There were fucking junkies around, man. Honestly, it's horrible. It's
the
ruined.
library is like in Kelowna. There's this they built this super nice library like 30 years ago. It's super nice, and all around it is fucking junkies, dude. You try and take the kids in, and there's like live in the entryway. You're like, oh, hey. Anyways,
Free heated space with bathrooms. Yeah, that's a whole other thing.
they're wafting too.
Porn. They watch they get on the computers. They're fucking.
Yeah, I feel
giving
bad
it.
for the librarians.
Oh,
To have to deal
they're
with
so
that.
Tough
burnt
gig.
out. It's
Must be
crazy.
angels. Like, so yeah, I mean, there's a lot of predictions that he threw out there.
Dude,
with
didn't
dates and stuff.
he didn't even guess the discovery of the Dead Sea Scrolls? Wasn't that one of his?
I can't remember. One of the ones that he's also one of the things that he's kind of always said was that there was going to be a rediscovery of the Hall of Records, which had to do with Atlantis. He said this
Paw of the Sphinx.
Yeah, under the left paw of the Sphinx. He said that these would be recovered.
Is this not all a little bit problematic when like all these prophecies and everything are like being shared now by his own like company essentially, or the foundation in his name?
They are.
You know, it's like, of course, they're like grandiose and good, and a
But
lot
isn't
of them
that
are
what they
coming true, 'cause
like?
it's
Isn't the left paw the one they want to lidar? Because isn't that the one we hear
that's
about
what he
now?
said. I mean, that's
But
from
he's
him.
saying that as
That's-
well, right?
No, it's from him.
It
Like
spawns
that's
from
why they
him?
want to do. Yeah, it comes from him. And
okay.
One of the thing that's really interesting I thought was kind of funny, and I think we talked about it. We might have mentioned Edgar Cayce during the pyramids thing because one of who's considered the foremost authorities on Egyptology in the United States is Mark Lehner. Mark Lehner was actually he was inspired by Edgar Cayce. Like a lot of Edgar Cayce's predictions and a lot of his descriptions of the Hall of Records and these the knowledge was to build the pyramids and some of these megalithic structures was shared by the Atlanteans to the Egyptians. Mark Lehner kind of said that a lot of this stuff was his impetus for becoming an Egyptologist, like studying Egyptology and becoming what he did and went to go work on. And he's made a number of discoveries and kind of pushed Egyptology forward. And like he was actually I think some of his stuff was actually funded by the Association for Research and Enlightenment. Like he had a very close relationship with them, as Cayce was one of his kind of role or his inspirations for that, and to actually kind of become an Egyptologist, which is kind of cool. Even though a lot of the stuff he discovered is like, oh no, like the Egypts were built by like actual workers that had camps there and stuff that they've excavated and or kind of that stuff. But he's still,
it's all a national project, Dan. It's just a fucking national project.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a lot of that stuff is still pretty cool. Like Cayce is an interesting figure, and he always kind of has some lasting power because of like Andrew was saying yeah, he does have a pretty good PR team with the legacy of his Association for Research and Enlightenment.
He must be on like his great grandkids now or something.
I think the Association for Research and Enlightenment has just changed hands into the first person who is not a Cayce. Like I think there was like 3 successive generations.
Because he died in what, like the 50s or something, right? Like
45.
Yeah. So that's like great. I mean, someone's great grandpa, really.
Yeah.
Born in just before 1880s or something? 1890?
Yeah. 18.
Go circle back.
1880.
1877. Okay. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, and so I think it is now run by someone who is not directly related to the first platoon is not directly related to Edgar Cayce at this point. So it is still there. I mean, you can still go. They have lectures and stuff. I think I was looking at their website the other day for something. It wasn't for this. It was for something else that they popped up on.
Dan told me he had a strange dream, and he was wondering if he was eligible.
They still do stuff out there. I think they had like a special viewing of that Age of Disclosure film at some point. Like I was looking at their calendar.
Where they all slept and went into trances and tapped into
wafted it in.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, I mean, in the end, pretty much, there's a lot of people who swear by Edgar Cayce's life and all of he's done. There's a lot of people who say he's maybe not like a grifter himself, but he was kind of like manipulated into being one because people made money off of him.
Yeah, it's. I mean, some of his predictions were weird enough with what we know now, and I'm just like, I don't believe that he would have the knowledge to make these guesses. I'm like, I do feel like he was tapped into something making this, and like it wasn't an exact science, but it's like he was getting information from somewhere. Or just like really good at pattern recognition and making good, really sound predictions that like hit close to home.
Hey, listen, man, the Simpsons writers have been doing it for years. It's possible.
Yeah, sure.
They've taken a page out of it for sure.
100%.
But it's I never got the like grifter sense from like reading about him. I agree that like, yeah, I felt maybe that people took advantage of him and used him to grift. But like when you hear him, it's like he seemed like, you know, a lot of times we kind of will talk about someone like, yeah, fuck that guy. He sucked. But he's like, I don't know about this guy. I was like, from the things
this guy was broke multiple times.
Yeah.
Right? Like he went broke several times.
From all accounts, it seemed like he believed in what he was doing, right? He believed he was making a difference, helping people, which there's no harm in that. Like a lot of people point to like the whatever,
there
12,000
is if you give people
cases.
fucking advice though.
Sure. There definitely is. So the 12,000 cases are like, what was the analogy given at the start of the episode? Andrew said, what was yours, Andrew?
Blind squirrel.
Blind squirrel?
Blind squirrel one.
Mine's nuts once in a while.
Well, that's his Braden's dad. His Braden's dad's fucking saying.
Broken clocks right twice a day.
Broken clocks right twice a day, that kind of stuff. So he's made so many predictions, but the lore only really includes like his top 20. Like one we didn't really talk about, but one of the ones they point to is he was making a reading on a guy and he wasn't in his apartment. And he's like, oh, he's actually on a train. The train's late because of a car accident. And like they supposedly that was verified. I'm like, see, he's a prophet. And then he gave him the medical information once he got back to the apartment. So there's the odd one, but out of 12,000 or whatever.
I'm sure there's a couple people are like, eh.
Like then just... And even like the information that you say he gave, like just the general basics of health, eat better, sleep better, you know,
just a change in diet, I guess, you know, not even if it's not, I mean, it's not, he's not recommending people get, you know, radical surgeries or anything like that, you know, basically just change up your diet.
That's all like,
just kind of like,
apparent now, but back then, like people were fucking shocked when they learned that they should fucking wash hands before fucking
the single greatest human achievement of science and like medical health. Wash your hands.
Yeah, like they fucking doctors thought it was like heresy when the guy suggested it, being like,
I'm not doing it.
Yeah, they're like, that's fucking retarded. I'm not doing that. That's insane.
Yeah, killing a lot of people. Who thought doing was a surgery and then doing a surgery on someone else without washing your hands would have been a good idea?
He's doing a surgery, taking a break to scratch your ass and getting right back in the fucking.
Scratch your ear, scratch your ass, fuck, get back in there, deliver a baby. Like,
Yeah, it's all good. Wow, weird. The baby's dead. What happened? Nothing to do with that fucking corpse I was just doing an autopsy on or anything. Fucking bizarre.
yeah, but so, and then a lot of people point to like the consistency of how it went about. Like, just like it was always name, hypnosis. It was like a very regimented, it was almost like a medical procedure, even though obviously it wasn't considered medical. So people point to that and the ongoing research because of it and like just the lore behind it. They're like, what? If he wasn't grifting, but he wasn't a bad guy. He was trying his best and he might have actually been a little psychic. And then the other side are like, well, there's actually no scientific validation of blind trials or anything that you could actually like measure. So they're like, oh, a lot of like vague language, like I feel that, or I think that, like not like you have a tumor in your left lung, you know? He didn't like really spell it out for people. But I don't know. A lot of
them they said, yeah. A lot of them they said like some of them, they're saying that the conditions that the people who did get better, they would have gotten better anyways. Like if it wouldn't have anything, but who knows? It's like, there's a lot to be said for,
there was one kid that came and saw him that was like supposedly deathly ill, or no, she was developmentally impaired for whatever reason. And he's like, oh, she's got a lack of blood flow to her brain due to a pinch something in her back. So, fucking a couple of chiropractic adjustments and she'll be right as rain.
Take her out, get kicked by the donkey, and
then she was fine. I'm like, that's a little fucking seems like some fluffing to me, but hey,
it's like that's the Cayce lore. He's a very interesting thing. Brayden's like, you never heard anything about him, but it's like I've heard about him.
We've talked about it before. I know.
If you've ever had like an entry, like a passing interest in Atlantis, like whatever, it's like he's on there.
I think we talked about him when we did Baba Vanga originally. We also talked about Edgar Cayce in that episode. I'm pretty sure,
we
not as much, just like a brief.
Because him and it's probably Blavatsky is that you're thinking of. Maybe
Blavatsky.
Because Blavatsky, H.P. Blavatsky, a lot of people will compare the two, like some of Cayce's predictions kind of pull in some of her stuff too. But they became popular figures in the esoteric circles themselves. So it's kind of it's like between the two, you're like you got a lot of cool stuff to go through if you ever two of the most well documented figures in esoteric theosophy, whatever. It's a lot. There's a lot of reading to do in there. We could probably do like 6 podcasts about Edgar Cayce. If you're like
one's good.
One's good. Yeah.
One's good.
Anyways, we got one more beauty this week.
It better be that motherfucker that requested Edgar Cayce.
Yeah, I hope so. They found the website alientheorist.com, or they searched on Patreon for Theorist Pod. They signed up. They're getting all the bonus goodies, all the other good stuff that comes with it. This week's new supporter, we got Nick Schubert. I don't know if it's French, but it sounds like a good Schubert. Or Sherbert, maybe.
Beauty.
I'm not sure how it is. Just the one beauty this week, keeping the lights on. We appreciate it.
Let's go. And as we always say at the end of these things, keep those eyes on the skies.
If you're a podcast host, listen up. This one's for you. My name is Allie Jackson. I'm the host of Finding Mr. Height, a dating and relationship podcast that I've been doing for 4 years now, sharing my positive and practical approach to dating that's built on my own life experience. And I wanted to share another experience that I've had, my secret behind monetizing my show. It's called Red Circle. And I was just telling my colleague about how much I love their platform. With Red Circle, not only am I getting a seamless hosting experience, but I also love the support I receive in ad sales. It's not just typical ad sales either. It's targeted opportunities based on my show and my life. And the platform is super simple. You just set your preferences and Red Circle matches you with sponsors that align with your show. You can vet every opportunity and their platform gives you great analytics. More recently too, my Red Circle team has brought me opportunities outside of my podcast on social media to really augment the podcast partnerships, bring them full circle. I just can't recommend them enough. If you want to give it a try, go to redcircle.com to get your free trial. That's redcircle.com for a free trial.